Greetings, Poke fans. Welcome back to Poke Relaxing. Today we're in the card shop so that I can more easily show you some larger items. And actually, you'll notice the camera is kind of like following me a little bit. That's like a feature of the iPhone when you use it to record video. And I tried to turn it off, but couldn't really figure out how to do that, so I'll figure that out later. In the meantime, I don't know, it's funny because it kind of makes it seem like there's like a camera person, following me around, but there's not, so, maybe it's fine, and adds a little something to the video. But, yeah, so I mentioned in my last video that I've been picking up some cool new stuff in the sealed variety, and wanted to do a video showing that off. So yeah, in order to do that, I have to have a camera that can kind of hold, or is big enough, the shot is big enough to show you like a sealed case of something. So I'm going to try to do that and talk about the items that I bought and why I bought them, and sort of what I plan to do with them, and really also like what's happened to them since I bought them. So let's do that. Okay, yeah, so I did notice that this camera moving is a little bit annoying because it's like cutting off the, I think it's like, it's wanting to find my face, which is funny because it's expressly out of the video since I like to be anonymous, and it's not sure what to do without a face, so it sees the bottom of my chin there, which is just out of the camera's viewable area. In any event, I've got enough of these so I could stack them up and show you, but these are 5 ETBs of Evolving Skies, the most valuable set from the Sword and Shield era. I'll switch cameras here to get a slightly more zoomed in shot here. And actually, let me see if I can make this a little bigger. Yeah, so this is the camera I set up to kind of like zoom in on stuff, so because I can go like this with it, but in this case I'm going to zoom it out, and it's kind of the shot I intended. Because I'm going to put this one backwards, and actually this kind of fits over here a little better. Alright, so this is 5 ETBs of Evolving Skies. They're all in pretty nice shape. I bought them all from the same guy. Actually, this one kind of has a little dent on it where the sleeve cardboard goes over the harder part and it gets kind of pressed, but no real damage to the products obviously from that, so not a huge deal. But in any event, I picked these up because other than I think 3 booster boxes of Evolving Skies, I don't have a whole lot of it. I do have a handful of like collection boxes that do have like a pack or two. Here's one I only actually have one of, but I do have I think it's Boltund, yeah, Boltund collector boxes have I think 1 pack of Evolving Skies, and there was a place that was selling those a few months ago for like $40 each. I think there's 4 packs, so it's like $10 a pack, and the other packs are all Sword and Shield, and I think one of them is Fusion Strike, which is probably like, I don't know, $11 or $12 right now, as a raw pack by itself. So those seem like a no-brainer to me. I think Evolving Skies packs are probably pushing $30 a pop right now, so 3 additional packs for an extra $5 from the Sword and Shield there seems like a no-brainer. But in any event, I I do feel sometimes like I don't have nearly enough Evolving Skies, considering that it's, probably the team up of the Sword and Shield era, in that it is, by far the most valuable set in the Sword and Shield era right now. Although, interestingly, no, I was going to say there's an exception to that, but there's not. So it is the most, sort of prized set in the Sword and Shield era, and that probably will continue unless something crazy happens. And so, as the best set in the era, there's certainly the possibility that as more and more of it gets opened, and certainly plenty of people are still opening this stuff, and as it gets harder and harder to find, but people continue to cherish it as the best set in the Sword and Shield era, we could see crazy things. And if you look at the price of a booster box of Evolving Skies, those are now at $2,000. They're pretty much kind of out of the range where I'd want to buy them. I think they could easily be $3,000 in a year, but it's just a lot of money to park for, I think, the potential gains. I think there's other things that could, 3-4x in that same time period, or maybe a little bit longer. So it's probably a little better to put money there. However, I did feel like the ETBs at, just under $300 when I bought these like 3-4 weeks ago seemed pretty reasonable to me. And, the dealer I bought these from had them out and a bunch of other stuff, so I kind of went on a spending spree, and you'll see some other stuff I bought from this guy in Minneapolis as well. So anyways, the opportunity was there. I could see him in person, and at the time these were selling for, I think, like $295 on TCG Player, and I got them for $275. I did try to get, the guy a little bit lower for buying them all, but truth be told, that's not a very appealing offer to dealers, which I know because I've sold cards recently, and a lot of times you worry that your hottest selling items will sell out so quickly that you don't have any good stuff left for the rest of the show, and then maybe people won't look at your table. So I was not able to get a discount, and that's perfectly understandable, but I did end up buying them all, and I'm happy to have them because I don't know, a week or so after I bought these, I looked them up, and the price, it was like over 300. It was like 320 or something. I haven't looked recently, and on this setup, I don't know that I can easily do like switching over to the web browser view. So I'm just gonna skip that for now. But in the future, I'll have that ability on this recording setup. So in any event, these are great additions to the collection, and I was happy to add them. I think, I probably will not add any more of these, although it's funny because I was at a card show selling cards a couple weeks ago, and somebody, oh man, I just realized this one has a tear in it at the top there, so that's a bummer. Some people care a lot about that, some people don't really care that much, but you'd certainly prefer not to have any kind of tears or rips in your ETBs if possible. This one has one too. Wow. Oh well. Put these over here. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, at the last card show I was at selling cards, somebody had an ETB of that stuff to sell, and I offered them $260 for it. They said yes, but I ended up actually selling it at the same show because somebody said that was a friend of another dealer there, came by and said, "Oh, I really wanted that because it's my birthday next week, and that was the one thing I wanted." And I said, "Okay, I'll give you a deal on it." I think I had marked it at like $290 or something, but I just sold it for $260 what I bought it for, and somebody got a deal on it. So I don't have another addition, unfortunately, to that group that you saw there just now. All right, so next thing up. All right, so we have an unsealed but complete case of items that I was happy to buy, that I have none of, and that they happen to bring the outer case here, this box. And so I was lucky to get everything in the case, which is, I think, kind of cool if you can do it. We kind of tape this up and put it away in cold storage. But let's take a look at what's in these. So 4 of these bad boys are in that case. This is the Sword and Shield Charizard Ultra Premium Collection. And, I've sort of had my eye on this product for many years, for many months, I guess. Maybe half a year, because, Charizard is my favorite Pokemon, although Phanpy's growing on me. And seems like if they have a UPC, built around Charizard, it would be a good thing to have in the collection. And I just managed to never really, stumble upon these out in the wild. And I don't know, I think I probably priced them out a few times and just felt like they were a little bit too expensive to pick up. But they've only gotten more expensive since then. So, I've learned a few times in my life that you got to strike while the iron is hot, or while the AD is in your head, or you're going to pay a lot more for something down the road, at least when you have a hot market, as you do in Pokemon. So unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see it, but on the back of this, there's a photo that shows you, here's where I can kind of zoom in, maybe get a little, I think it's not going to be super crystal clear, but yeah, you can see, all the stuff that's included. And basically, it's like a ton of Sword and Shield era packs, including 3 Evolving Skies. And actually, it's basically like a sort of greatest hits of Sword and Shield era packs. You've got 3 Evolving Skies. You've got 3 Fusion Strikes. You've got, I think, 3 Brilliant Stars. I think there's actually like 5 Lost Origins. And then there is Darkness Ablaze and Vivid Voltage, but only one of those each. So it's like they included those, but they gave you the minimum possible. And the thing that makes this box special is that there's 3 really cool promos in there of Charizard, and I've gotten all of them just as singles over the years. So nothing new. I wish I could show you. In this setup, I want to have a camera that's like close to me that I can, do sort of really up close stuff. Because I was just realizing I have no great way to show like a single card, which I have a couple of I want to show you that I've acquired in the last few weeks. But in any event, this is a really cool box. It's got a playmat in it as well. 2 condition markers, 1 acrylic V-Star marker, and metal coin, dice, sleeves, etched foil promo cards, 3 of them. So really cool product, I think. These were $275 as well. And I think, the market on them was like right around 300, and like those Evolving Skies ETBs, I think these have gone up since I bought them, even though it's only been a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. So hard to argue, with the instant gain in your investment value, but these are ones I want to hold on to for a while because I love them. I love Charizard. I love the promos in them, and I just think they're going to be $500 boxes relatively soon, if the market doesn't completely capitulate, which again many people are sort of expecting and some wanting. A pretty big correction in the prices of everything in Pokemon. I think that will happen to some degree, but if the market goes up like 1% every week, as it seems to be doing, and then at the 70-week mark of the bull run, it goes down 10-20%. Well, guess what? We're still up quite a bit. So, you know, I don't think these will ever be like super cheap, but if they are, then great. I'll pick up some more because I'd certainly love to have more than four. All right, next up is something I have not acquired recently, but it is really cool, so I wanted to show what I got. Actually, part of this I did acquire recently. These acrylic cases for these ETBs. I have not had any like protection for any of my ETBs ever. And the price of these is going, so crazy right now. These I think are worth $1,500 to $2,000, depending on where you look. And this is a Generations box from XY era for those who are not familiar. And or is it Sun and Moon? I always forget. Let's see, 2016. So I think that would be XY era. But in any event, these are very valuable boxes, and it was kind of scaring me not to have any protection, especially because I know that people are very picky about pokes and holes and stuff on these wrappers, and they can very easily get scratched or torn, if you're packing them to go to a show or something like that. So having them in some protection is definitely very advisable. And since I didn't have any, I sort of shopped around to find the best deal. Unfortunately, I could not find like a great deal, and I couldn't get any acrylic boxes for ETBs from the distributor that I normally use for supplies. If I could, I'm sure they would be great quality and an awesome deal, because everything I've gotten from them supply wise has been those two things. So yeah, I just basically got the cheapest ones I could on eBay, and these are pretty solid quality wise. I think I paid like $18 a piece, $18.99 maybe, which is a lot, but it was the cheapest one. Certainly there are places selling these for $25 to $30. So it was a better deal than most, but still quite expensive. So I wanted to show the acrylic case off. If you guys have any questions on that or want to know the one I got, I'm happy to post a link to that if you want to request that in the comments, since I assume you can still get them off eBay where I got them. And yeah, I'll continue to sort of be looking for like wholesale deals on supplies, because I would imagine I could get a much better deal than $18 at wholesale, and then maybe I could sell them for $16, $17 to you all if you're interested in. I think these are probably a little more popular than booster boxes to like the average collector, since more people have ETBs sealed than they do have booster boxes, given the price difference. So, the other reason I wanted to show this was just because, so this is an anniversary set, right? This was like the first one at the 20th anniversary, which was 2016. And then the Celebrations product was the next anniversary set for the 25th anniversary, and next year in 2026, which is 10 years from when this came out, and 30 years from 1996 when the first Pokemon cards were made, there will be presumably a 30th anniversary set, and a lot of people have been talking about how that's going to be very exciting for the community and the marketplace, and that like when the 30th or the 25th anniversary stuff, Celebrations, came out, people got more interested in the 20th anniversary Generations stuff. And so people think that when the 30th anniversary products come out, people will start to get really excited about Generations and about Celebrations. And so people have been saying that for a while, since 2026, has been on the horizon for quite some time. And that's kind of why I got this box. I actually got two of these. I think I got these for $500 a piece. Now they're worth $1,500. So already there's some excitement about this stuff, but could be even bigger when the 30th anniversary rolls around. But in any event, that was what drove my purchase of those Generations boxes. But at the same time, I sort of knew about Celebrations, but wasn't very excited about it. Never got any, and just have never really come across any deals on any, or thought too hard about them. And for the longest time, Celebrations, I know there was a ton of excitement about that product when it came out, and it was kind of one of those rare Pokemon products that, even in a relatively slow market, when there was plenty of Pokemon available, like Target and Walmart, those boxes, were the Celebrations boxes, the UPCs, and the ETBs, were quick to disappear off store shelves because everybody was looking for them. So I knew there was excitement around it, but basically for the last year, Celebrations has been relatively, kind of like sideways in terms of its performance in value. So I don't know, I just, for a variety of reasons, I never really got motivated to acquire any. But recently, like a couple weeks ago, I said, you know what, maybe I should pick some up, just because Generations is doing so well that, it's still, Celebrations is still pretty low dollar. So I should maybe grab some while I can. And this is unfortunately a sealed case, so I'm not going to be able to open it up. But in here is 4 Celebrations UPCs. And I think I paid $1,500 for this case, which is, where's my calculator? Oh, it's way over there. But let's figure it out. What the heck? Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, it was in the calculator app, but it was not coming up. So 1,500 divided by 4 is $375 for these. And I believe I looked recently, and these were already, actually, at the time I bought them, I think they were worth like $425 or going for $425 on TCG Player, and I think since then they've even gone up a little bit more. So these ones are on the rise, and I noticed that Team Rocket Joey, who's one of the kind of the more I don't know, scandalizing or sort of tabloidy PokeTubers, has always been a fan of Celebrations and has recently been doing a lot of content about how great he thinks Celebrations is. So I sort of wonder if that is driving prices up on this stuff. But we'll find out, if it continues to stay hot moving forward. But anyways, I got this case of UPCs, and then I also got an ETB case, also sealed, for $1,300. So that's about $130 a box for the ETBs of Celebrations. And that was right about market when I bought that, so it wasn't really a discount. Maybe there was like occasionally one going for like $145, $150, but now I think they're sort of kind of established above that price, so everything's kind of continuing to go up, it seems. So all right, there is the sealed stuff I wanted to show you. And next I'll show you something that's just going to be kind of hard to see, but I will try. So these are 2 PSA2 Charizard base set Shadowless Hollows, and I picked these up from the same guy that I bought the Charizard UPCs and the see if I can zoom in on these a little bit, and the Evolving Skies ETBs. So yeah, suffice to say, okay, that's about as close as it's gonna get. So yeah, I know that sucks. I'm sorry. If I move away, it might kind of focus on that, but it might not. Let's see. Will it focus? I don't know. If I move it towards the center, maybe it will. Oh, I guess I can move it back, and then I could actually zoom in a little bit more. So yeah, I spent a lot of money with that guy on that day, but I'm very happy with everything that I picked up. So yeah, so I picked these up for $5.95 and $5.75, and that was like a little bit south of kind of market pricing on those on eBay comps. I haven't looked since then, so I don't really know what has happened in the last couple of weeks with this card, but I wanted to buy them because I love that card. I have a few low grade, just base, just the basest base version of that card, not Shadowless, not first edition, just the regular base set hollow, nothing special about it. And I have those, a couple of them PSA 1, I think I have a PSA 2, and I bought those for like $100 or less, or maybe a little over 100 for the PSA 2, and then the PSA 1s I got for like under $100, just because I felt like it's kind of like the 52 Tops Mickey Mantle of Pokemon, I feel. And I've always sort of been driven to get like the the key card of the key player in anything that I'm interested in. And so for sports cards, that's like Mantles and Cobbs and stuff, and for Pokemon, it's like some of the most widely recognized hollows of Charizard, and maybe some of the other more popular ones like Rayquaza or Umbreon or stuff like that. But anyways, this just feels like a sort of blue chip stock to me, and I've never had a chance really to pick up a Shadowless one. I'm sure if I looked at a card show I'd find them, but never really seen them. And I figured under $600 for each of these is not a crazy amount given how rare these cards are. So yeah, picked up a pair of them, and we'll hang on to them and see what they do over the years. But yeah, so that's all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was fun to show some of this stuff off. Now it'll kind of go off into cold storage along with many other Pokemon items, and we'll pull it out in a couple of 3 years and see where it sits at that point, and ask whether it's something I want to part with or hang on to another 2-3 years at that point. So all right, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you all next time. Until then, stay relaxed. Bye now.